Van Morgan. We're out here, rain or shine, trying to get your votes. We've been out all day, and I'm going YouTube live, trying to get a few more views on my YouTube videos. So I want to talk about the election, and also want to talk a little bit about the Governor Bill Lee, the state election. We're not running for governor right now. We're running for city council. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Let me turn this camera around. Better camera on the other side. So hold on just a second. We're YouTube live. So Charles Van Morgan out on the campaign trail, rain or shine. See, it's got a little wet, but it's not lightning, so a little rain won't hurt us. But we'll talk about the local election that I'm running for, City Council District 1. Remember, friends calling friends beats bought elections. The early voting is August 6th, and you can, for the primary, you can vote at Meridian Baptist Church August 6th through the 21st, and there won't be a line. And if I win enough votes, the two top people, vote getters in the primary, get to go to the general election, and that is in November. And I'll get you an early voting date for that. But right now we're focused on the primary, August 6th. Go vote at Meridian Baptist Church for Charles Van Morgan. I'm promising to give you your government back to you, away from the parties, because the lady that's running against me is a friend of the mayor. She helped the mayor win election, so she's just going to rubber stamp what the mayor wants. And the mayor was in Washington when we had that major snowstorm. Listen to her boss, the party in Washington, and they're going to get your vote, buy your vote, and they're going to do what the party tells them to do and ignore your voice. And sometimes it'll be what you want, sometimes it won't. And I promise that I will listen to Knoxvillians and do what you want to do instead of listening to the party. So that's that on the local election. I'm going to talk about the transvestite Governor Bill Lee, the creep, sorry man that he is, claims to be a Christian. And a lot of people think that I will be punished by God for speaking ill of Governor Bill Lee. Well, keep on to thinking that doesn't work that way. God is not protecting Bill Lee from political truth, and God's not going to protect him from me telling the truth about it. So I fear God, not Bill Lee. Now, he claims to be a Christian, but the way he lives and the way he governs Tennessee is wrong and crooked. He's a sorry man. He's disgusting. And he's got a vendetta against me. A little boy from South Knoxville. I'm a grown man now, but I grew up without a dad, fatherless in South Knoxville. My dad was killed when I was 2 years old. Moved over to South Knoxville when I was about 6. And I learned when I was a kid through friends, you better stand up to a bully and punch him in the face. Now, I'm speaking as a kid. I'm not going to punch Bill Lee in the face, but physically, but I'm going to punch him in the face with truthful words because he's attacking me. And I learned how to fight bullies. You either fight them or you run from them every day. Now, he's trying to prevent me from running for office. And you say, why would he worry about somebody from South Knoxville? Because, I used to be a state trooper. I led the state in saving people from getting killed on the roads. More than any trooper in the state, there's 900 troopers, and he knows I can be very effective at getting truth out about him. So he's trying to silence me. Now, he's trying to do that in a lot of ways. He just got done signing the Peace Act, which is an act that stops opposition against him and the Republican Party in Tennessee, not the National Republican Party, but the Republican Party in Tennessee, trying to make it hard for people to campaign and get votes. Now, what I call it is the Poll Enforcement Act to stop elections. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to stop elections against him. Even the President of the United States, the leading Republican in the United States, said that Bill Lee was a rhino. So even the Republican leader in the whole America doesn't like the creep transvestite Governor Lee. And he's a transvestite. He dresses up like a woman. And he did that one. He got pictures of him. And he says we're conflating that he dressed up like a woman to call him a transvestite. How is that? That's what a transvestite is. It's a man that likes to dress up like a woman, opposite sex. That's what he does. He's a creep. And I wonder, and I say this because of what he's trying to do to me. He had me arrested already. He had me physically arrested, taken into custody when I was running against him for governor in Chattanooga. The Republican Party at the polls came out to the polls and wanted me to leave. And I was behind the legal barrier to campaign, just like the Republicans and just like the Democrats. I was running independent against him. And my flyers were very inflammatory, legally inflammatory, saying stuff about him that was truthful. He didn't like that. I hung them on doors all over the state of Tennessee. The campaign worked because I got votes all over the state of Tennessee. A lot of people don't like that man. He got lifted up by the Republican Party. Now, I don't think he would have got elected had Mr. Trump spoke out against him before then. But he didn't like me passing out those flyers against him and against his buddy. I guess Stacey Heatherly, she's the one that, if you remember her, she's the one I did a video about that is stealing valor. Now, I reported that to him and his administration, and I put a leaflet out about her when I was running for public office about how crooked him and her are, and put a leaflet, and see, he didn't like that. So he made that Peace Act, which criminalizes leaving leaflets against him. That's what that act does. That's what it's for. That's what he did. And in America, we have a First Amendment right to freedom of speech, but he's trying to stop me personally, that's what that act is about, from giving out leaflets that publicly portray him truthful. I mean, he let him sue me defamation. He dressed up like a woman. He's a transvestite. That's the truth. If he wants to sue me for defamation, I'll just show the picture to the jury. But he knows that. He knows what I'm saying is the truth. And his friend, Major now, Stacey Heatherly, that after she stole valor, he was made aware, promoted her, and he promoted her. Majors are administrative positions appointed by the governor. So the governor promoted her, knowing that she stole valor. She said she served in the military, was retired, not only just served 20 years in the military. In the Army National Guard, never served one day in the military. And it's on a flyer where she put out speaking at a women's conference, and even with the Highway Patrol emblem. So he's entangling himself in with somebody that steals valor. So you might as well say the governor is stealing valor. Now, the reason why I say he's a sick individual is because the reason why I put out information negatively about now Major Stacey Heatherly is because there's blood on her hands. I led the state in life-saving arrests, getting people off the road that were drunk driving. And no one did it better or more than me. Numbers don't lie. Now, they say a lot of bad stuff about me. When I was on the road for the Highway Patrol, the fatality rate was a lot lower than it is now. Less people were killed, less of your family and friends, but they don't care about that. They don't care about your family and friends. They care about their power. And he cares about standing power. That's the reason why he's legalizing my leaflets, is what he's trying to do. So I put out that leaflet, and now he's got that Peace Act, making it illegal to pass out flyers at people's homes, where we could, under the Jehovah's Witness case, which is against the Constitution. But he's trying to make it illegal in Tennessee to pass out information contrary to him. He's got blood on his hands because he promoted somebody that raised the fatality rate. The fatality rate skyrocketed after they took me off the road. And his friend, Stacey Heatherly, maybe she's his girlfriend, because that's what she calls her friend that got voted in to the legislature Lionel Russell because he's got free campaign signs put out on the side of the road hailing him as a hero, like he's a military hero when he's still alive, saying he's a good person when he's not. He's a scumbag. I was in a pursuit with somebody that left my side, even that left the video side. You can't see that somebody sees the same thing the video camera sees. That's like in any sporting event. It's easy to explain the referees miss calls because perception reaction is not as good as you can slow down a video and see something on a video. That doesn't mean in real time that the referee saw it. That's why they have instant replay, to make sure the referee got it right. That doesn't mean he tried to cheat anybody. And I drove past a wreck because it was off the road in the dark and it wasn't overturned or anything that looked like a wreck to me. Anybody would have done that. Even an expert witness testified. Their expert witness testified that I wasn't lying about anything and did the best that anyone could expect to do. Even tried to save his life, risking my own life later when they dispatched me to the wreck where I knew where it was. But she lied and said you can see stuff better at night. And Lowell Russell, somebody asked me about Lowell Russell, what I call him, a creep and a dirty thug, which he is. He's lying, Lowell Russell. He went to the man's house that night that he lost his family member in the wreck, that killed himself. His .2 something alcohol level marijuana in his system. He killed himself. I was doing my job. Of course I'm going to be in and around drunk drivers. It was my job to look for them. But troopers aren't superhuman. Sometimes we can get them stopped, sometimes they can't. Sometimes they kill themselves. They kill themselves without even troopers there. But if you're going to be in and around wrecks and in pursuits involving people that kill themselves. That's the nature of it. If you're in an active combat zone, are you going to be firing bullets and people get killed? Yes, but you can't blame that on you. Blame that on the war, who started the war. Blame that on society for that problem with alcohol. It wasn't my fault. I did my job and kept people from getting killed. She lied. Make sure this is still on. Okay, she lied. And Lowell Russell went to the man's house that his family member was killed and told the man that night, trying to infuriate people, stir up something that wasn't theirs, told him that the trooper had done something wrong, me, because he had a vendetta against me. Before that ever happened, he just used that. So you're talking about somebody's family member just dies. And Lowell Russell has no integrity, no morals, no ethics. He tells somebody that just lost a loved one that in order to get at me that the trooper done something wrong. Instead of the least most he should have said is it's under investigation. The trooper was in pursuit of him and it'll be investigated. If the trooper did anything wrong, then it'll be dealt with. But no, that's not what he said. He told the man, it was on the news, that I did something wrong. Not because I did, because Lowell Russell had a vendetta against me. He didn't like me. He came from Nashville with all his lies and corruption, and was working on getting the leading DUI arrester off the road because he cared about his career, not about public safety. I cared about public safety, and I did something about it. And his friend Major Headley calls Lowell Russell her girlfriend. So I would say that Governor Lee is her girlfriend also because and he dresses like a woman because he promoted her, knowing that she caused people to get killed. So the Christian governor's got blood on his hands. He's a dirty, rotten creep. He doesn't care about people getting killed. Since he's been in office, more people have got killed on Tennessee roadways because he got people that he promotes for political reasons, nothing to do with your safety. That's what kind of undecent human being that Mr. Lee is. Now, he claims to be a Christian, so, I can't run him down. Yeah, I can and I will. God's not on the side of a thug. You know, he got elected off the millions of dollars of his buddy, Mr. Has-Been. Now, Mr. Has-Been got his money because he got money off stepping over bodies at his convenience stores. Pays them low wages, and convenience stores are one of the most dangerous places you can work. So he got his money, Bill Has-Been, off of exploiting people. And Governor Lee, his buddy, had his campaign party to raise money at Governor Has-Been's house. So, and they're Christian. If that's Christian, then It's not the Christianity I know. The Christianity I know has love for your neighbor, doesn't want to step over their bodies to get in the governor's office. So good luck with that, Governor, because it's appointed and a man wants to die. And after you die, you might think you're right because everybody thinks they're right. But you ought to be on your knees praying that God forgives you for the devastation that you've caused Tennesseans because you're a transvestite creep. And does anybody know what happened to his wife? And I'm saying that because you can see the devastation on the highways. He cares nothing about human life, cares nothing. He just promoted somebody that caused a lot of death, that is lying about military service, and he knows it. And I just wonder, somebody with that character, and it's not unheard of, there have been other governors in Tennessee that they know murdered people. I don't know, and I'm just asking that question. And he's also had me arrested. He had me arrested at the polling site when I was passing out information, contrary to him, although I was doing it legally. And you're supposed to be able to do that under the Constitution, pass out information contrary to the person that's running against you. Of course, he can use his platform to publicly speak against me in his office. And I've heard he says stuff about me in his office. I heard he had some of the copies of the flyers that I put out. And he's trying to make those illegal now. So what I'm telling you is that this state is in the hands of a bunch of very dangerous creep and criminal thugs, and they need to be stopped. So I'm not sure who's running for governor, but he's term limited, and he ought to be impeached and imprisoned, and along with his girlfriend Stacey Heatherly, and along with Lion Lil Russell. So if Lil Russell thinks, and he thinks now, he walks around saying a bunch of good things about me, if he thinks that he's going to get by with trying to butter me up, you're wrong. You're wrong, Mr. Russell. I enjoyed the righteous fight. That's why I got more drunk drivers off the road, and I enjoy a righteous fight, fighting your nasty ass, you low-life creep. And this ain't over. And don't nobody try to hurt me. Now that's your warning. I wouldn't hurt anybody, but I damn sure got a right to defend myself, Governor Lee. And this message is to you. You better get on your knees and ask God to forgive you and come into your heart and save you, and get out of politics, because your soul lasts forever. And they might hang a picture of you up in the Capitol, but you could burn in hell for how you're doing people and how you're doing me. And I'm not afraid of you. I pray to God, and God will help me. And the fight's on. We're starting with city council, and we'll see where it goes from here. And God bless you all. Hope you listen to the message. I know it's raw, but it's real, and it's the damn truth. And I don't fear anybody. I fear God Almighty. And I bow my knee to him and ask him to lead, guide, and direct me and give me wisdom and knowledge. And I'm a fighter. I'm not afraid to fight these scumbag creeps that are trying to make it illegal and trying to keep power, trying to make it illegal for people to put out truthful campaign political information against them. And that's what Governor Bill Lee is trying to do. So let's get it on, Mr. Bill Lee. We'll see what kind of legacy you have. The sorry, dirty creep that you are. And I hate that for you. Get your heart right, sir. Thank you. And remember, August 6th, early election, let's get in the city council's office, and then we'll go from there. Meridian Baptist Church, friends calling friends, will beat these bought elections from these billionaires that are trying to make it illegal for us to campaign. And also, remember, God loves you, and I do too. Thank you very much.